not everything someone builds has to either have very high depth of impact or high scale of impact. It could be any permutation combination of this. The ideal super utopian version is it's both high on depth and high on scale. Content building is one area where you typically have very high scale because digital allows you to do that. The impact of it is not that much. Content you see, you read, you have some aha at that moment, and then you forget it generally. If you see the other extreme of it, which is something what I would call coaching. A coach actually usually has a reasonable direct one-on-one impact. Coaching is the other end of it, where you have very high depth of impact, if done well, of course, but you generally have much lower scale of impact. You can do 2 people, you can do maybe 5 people, but beyond that, it becomes very difficult even as a professional coach, and then you'll have to sort of start building it as an institution. The 2 quick next in line of both of that is you build a community. You're sort of impacting maybe 100 people, 200 people. Community is where sort of actions can persist for a slightly longer time, which means it'll have more impact than content generally, because there is some level of change behavior, that's some level of accountability to each other. So that's what I would call medium impact and high scale. Of course, if you naturally want to scale up an institution, you start doing a variety of all of this, right, as an institution. So community, medium impact, very high scale. On the other side, if you build a course, which is an education sort of, you're impacting again 100 people, 200 people, and it's not just one-on-one coaching, but it's a course where people are going through the entirety of the course, and that's how I would put as reasonably high scale and very high impact. Now, if you see all of this sort of congregating into something high scale, high impact, it usually becomes either a digital product or a physical product or an experience or a service. Because at that scale, what happens is generally when you build something as a product, it spreads to tens, hundreds, thousands, millions.